Welcome to 0HITPOINTS, everybody, for the week of November 18th. I'm Ryan Miller and tightly scheduled Matt Amber.
Yep, 30 minutes or less. Let's do this.
Didn't even have time to drink that thing of water.
Yeah. Domino's Pizza from 1990s. 30 minutes or less. Let's go.
Is that what that glass was?
No. I'm just saying 30 minutes or less for the show.
Oh.
Let's go.
I thought you had one of those cool cups from like the 80s that you got for buying food and stuff.
No, I got those in the 90s and thousands.
I was going to say, I have the Star Trek. The new Star Trek, not even the old ones. Actually, I have some of the old ones too. Somebody got us a package of vintage ones from the 70s for Christmas one. But I got the new ones from Burger King. Uh-huh. So speaking of...
I don't have any video games to talk about this week. I literally played none.
Oh. So you have this moving quickly for the video games show down.
This week and day, yes, I do.
Pre-planned even.
Almost. Not really, but...
Well, you prepared for being short by not playing any games. You're a consummate professional.
I knew my water heater was going to break this weekend and have to be repaired today. That's what I did. Yeah. So I definitely pre-planned this.
My water heater, you obviously know this because it's showed up on the recordings before, and you probably heard it over. Sometimes my wife will forget and take a shower, and it'll come on, and I'll have to either edit around it or leave it in. And
leave it in always.
If it breaks down, who knows how many thousands of dollars will did yours like overflow, you said, right? Is that what
Yeah, it started leaking. Which means broken. But I didn't no real damage. But,
that's good.
But had to replace stuff, and still happening right now.
The replacement of, or the leaking?
No, there's things going on. I have plumbers here. Is that
why we're hurrying?
And that is why we're hurrying, yes.
Oh, I see. It all comes back around.
There it is.
I played some, I guess.
Okay. starting strong.
Could you hear the thought process that derailed at the moment I figured out I hadn't played a lot of games either this last week? Sometimes I think we just do the show, so I don't like you plan for it ahead of time.
I don't like you either. I'm glad we're still doing this.
Well, we've already decided that since I went to Universal this weekend, I knew that the book club for last week was going to be a little bit later. Still isn't out. So everything's getting pushed a little bit. This is going to be the only newish show to us for this week, but the book club show for Alita Battle Angel will be out this week. So you still get 2 shows this week, but we're going to push some other things, and we plan ahead all sorts.
See, look at us go.
The games I did play, I'm cleaning up some of the achievements on Modern Warfare.
Do you do any of the multiplayer in that at all?
No, I'm happy to report that Infinity Ward has always been anti-multiplayer achievements for any number of reasons that you've heard or could come up with off the top of your head. And they've carried, even obviously there was a large change there and Respawn was born. They have since still carried on that tradition of no multiplayer achievements. So I think there are some for Spec Ops, but there were also those for the other actual Infinity Ward ones. Modern Warfare 2, I think, had those still. But it doesn't matter. Whatever. They're all very fun achievements.
Good.
As you might imagine. They did that.
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't have to play multiplayer, so that right there increases the fun by about 1,000%.
So when I go into a level to do something that you wouldn't typically do in another level to get an achievement, I don't make other people angry, except for my wife. But I don't know if there's achievements. That's not true. She loves achievements. She helps me get them all the time. So
yeah, she helped you with Beatles Rock Band. I remember that.
Rock Band 1, even. She helped me play Beatles Rock Band, like legitimately. Like we just played together.
Yeah.
But Rock Band 1, she did like the drum pedal for Don't Fear the Reaper because my chops weren't yet up to par. So very good at the drum pedal.
That's all you need to be good at.
Yeah, Modern Warfare, still cool, still fun, except for that thing where it's not cool or fun. And did you want to check in with DC Legends at all?
No.
Okay.
No, it's going to get...
That was an angry no, or we've done enough of that?
We've done enough. There is nothing to add right now, and we need to move past it because it'll take... I know we'll dig into it, and I don't want to right now.
We text enough during the week about it, I guess. So
the fact that we've gotten to the point now where we're taking pictures or screenshots of our teams and going, look who I've got. Like, it's a thing.
Not even our teams.
And
teams
other
that
teams
we
were
see
playing, yeah.
that hand it to us, like, yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. I spite leveled Solomon Grundy. That's all I'll say for now.
Did you? Yeah, oh my God. I want him to be good. And like, he's really good. You just have to keep him enraged because, man, when he gets those hits after enraged, and why are we talking about this?
Gotcha.
Nope.
And okay, so...
Dude, Raven is good, though, when you level her up.
She's, I think, eclipsed my Superman at this point. But I've also hit a wall because you get her pieces by playing PvP, and where that seemed to be an easy go-to before, it started throwing like impossible teams at me. So I pretty much... I 5-starred her, so...
I will say this. You'll be surprised if you... I actually just did it 2 times in a row before we started recording. Beat teams that were significantly higher than me.
That has happened.
Because, yes. But I figured out, like, part of it is truly, like, those situations... I mean, at the end of the day, you lose nothing by trying, right? It's whatever. But,
just a PvP point.
But it's a, who cares? It's they come back. You don't have to
That regenerates in an hour anyway.
Yeah, whatever. I can poop later. But if you actually set your...
Is that related to what we're talking about?
Your lineup, I mean, isn't it? We're talking about a mobile game.
Okay,
if you set your lineup to actually do a good job of... countering theirs.
Right. The meta thing again.
Yeah, it's not meta. It's 3 icons. Like, this is Dr. Mario. I don't understand how you're not able to Dr. Mario that.
It's literally the definition of the meta, but also, yes, I get that it's rock, paper, scissors in its most basic form. We're talking about the meta of rock, paper, scissors is what we're doing. Yeah. And I don't understand it or refuse to engage with it.
That's fine. I'm just saying.
And that's your check-in with DC Legends. Other new segment that we're going to start for this week, DC Legends being an old segment at this point, is Ryan's irresponsible game review of the week.
Oh,
are you ready?
Okay. Yeah, I like this.
I bought and started Star Wars Fallen Jedi Order. I want to make sure I had those words in the correct order.
Cool.
And I'm literally... 5 minutes into it, maybe. That's being generous.
Well, I think you've got enough information to base the entire game on.
Oh, I definitely have enough for an irresponsible game review of the week. Doesn't make a great first impression. And Respawn, while I trust them implicitly, I was big fans of them when they were doing the Modern Warfares. And since they've done Titanfall and Apex, obviously now, like, they've never let me down. But... they do have kind of a ragtag feel about them, both as a team, but also when their games come out. Like Titanfall, famously done on the Source engine because it was probably the easiest and cheapest thing they could do, you know, to make a AAA game, especially, quote unquote, whatever. This doesn't necessarily deviate from that, even though I'm sure there was who knows how much money thrown behind it. It being Star Wars, it being EA probably needing a hit at this point somewhat, although Apex is probably still raking it in. But this doesn't necessarily switch that up. Like, it still kind of feels a little rough around the edges. Like, it still feels a little bit like that campaign felt in Titanfall 2. Like, I loved that campaign.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's never, ever as polished as like a Call of Duty or something, which is an impossible standard, even for people coming from Call of Duty. But... this still has some of that. It doesn't make a great first impression, the movement, and it's actually the first third-person action game they've ever done, I want to say. I mean, speaking of the team members individually, I don't know, but certainly as a group, as a team.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I know several times I was like, man, if they just put a Star Wars skin on a Titanfall-like game, I'm there. And I kind of expected that, I think, for a lot of the lead-up to this. It's not that. It's... a third-person action game. The movement is still really quick. Like, you get the feeling they could switch it to a first-person and you wouldn't lose much. but I haven't gotten, and this is where the irresponsible part comes in, to any gameplay. Like, it's literally just the...
I like the idea that don't even say anymore, because I'm just going to imagine all you've seen are cutscenes.
I don't think I've even seen those.
The entire thing off of cutscenes.
Was there a cutscene at the beginning? I guess there must have been, yeah. And then the camera comes in on, my dude, who also not... Like, the character doesn't grab me right off the bat at all. It's just all... It's also a very dark game. It's kind of muddy in that way. It's not the bright Star Wars type stuff that they do here and there. So it just doesn't make a great first impression so far. I've heard the gameplay is where this thing shines. So
it's on my list, man. I want to pick it up. I don't know. I don't know if I ever will. I don't know. Maybe I will.
Well, at this point, if you want a polished one of these, like, Control is still on my shelf. Like, at this point, irresponsibly, again, I would say get Control first.
Yeah, still got to do that. Remedy. So
yeah.
Again.
And that's been Ryan's irresponsible game review of the week.
I like this. I am a huge fan of the irresponsible game review, and I think we should actually do this more often. If it's just you, I'm sold on it too. I like it.
You can do irresponsible game reviews too.
Oh man,
you know,
we're
all about inclusivity here.
I love it.
Anybody can do it.
Yeah, send it to us. We'll read it out loud and say, here's how irresponsible our viewers are.
Yeah. As long as nobody gets hurt, don't get that irresponsible. I guess.
Don't tell me what to do.
All right. I have no other games except for DC Legends. Did we talk about that? So the reason I spite leveled Grundy is because it always wants me to use Batman. And I'm just like, no, I'm tired of having a Batman character everywhere. So what fits where he does? Solomon Grundy. Born on a Monday.
I like Solomon Grundy a great deal. Again, that enrage thing, man. When he hits on those off things.
I haven't figured that part out of him yet, actually.
So enrage, I finally okay. So enrage is, it makes the character, or gives the character a percentage chance to just attack after an attack, regardless of where it goes.
But how does that serve you?
Well, because if
on the offense,
so with Grundy, he has two things that give him enrage. The first one hits everybody, and then the other one just straight up gives him enrage and boosts something else. You want that because there is a possibility that you're going to get attacked by somebody, and he's going to immediately attack back. Like that, like it'll go through the normal cycle of, okay, this red guy is the next guy to go, the turn meter. He's going to attack, and as soon as his attack hits your Batman, who you don't want,
it doesn't, because I don't play.
He hits somebody. It could hit Grundy. It doesn't matter. But
actually, no, you're right. It should hit Batman. Things hit Batman. There we go.
So he hits Batman, and before the turn meter for the next character goes off, Grundy hits. And when he hits, it doesn't necessarily, he hits randomly, but when he hits on those, that is like, I have not seen anybody else hit that hard, period, outside of super leveled like bosses.
I have noticed that. I guess where I'm confused is I have some characters that, like Sinestro, will straight up enrage an opponent.
Yes.
Like, that's the only thing it does. So I'm like, well, why? I mean, I get that keeps them from using a special, perhaps, because they only enrage on their primary attack. But why otherwise would I want to enrage the enemy?
Yeah, I didn't know that he had one that just, that's all it does, because I think everybody else I use, it causes,
there's something else to it.
It causes it, yeah, but and I always thought that was part of the trade-off. Hit really hard, but cause enrage. Okay, well, that's fine. I don't know. It must also, maybe it takes away your specials. And you have to get rid of it before you can use your spec. Actually, that would make sense. There's one way we can
figure this out. It's by talking about it longer.
Yeah.
So, I don't really have anything left to actually talk about it. So
okay, good. We have 15 minutes.
Did you hear about this?
I would like to hear about it.
Shout out to a while ago, Xbox did this adaptive controller. I don't know if you ever saw that.
I have. I have saw that.
You don't have one.
No, I
thought that's where that was going for a second. Okay, you saw that.
Yeah.
Just always thought it was cool, and by all accounts is like, it gets the job done. People love it. There's not a lot like this out there. Well, now there is some more like this out there, and I just wanted to shout it out. Logitech has done something they're calling a G Adaptive Gaming Kit, which is kind of a toolbox or tool set for
Gangsters?
the Xbox adaptive controller. It makes it even more adaptive.
I feel adapted. I want to adapt myself to it.
You could. That's the point, I think. Just wanted to put that out there.
No, I like it. That's a good one to put out there.
Now you've heard about that.
I have, and I want to hear more.
Is you're on the very opposite end of the spectrum, possibly. You remember Anthem?
I've heard about Anthem.
It may be the least adaptive game that's come out this year. There's and I wouldn't even mention this, but the fact that it's coming from Schreier over at Kotaku, it says that at the very, very least, there have been extended discussions and a lot of toying with the idea of overhauling and somewhat re-releasing Anthem.
It's crazy.
Essentially.
I
Yes.
am just terribly
speechless,
terribly interested in where this goes, because I have so many questions. Do they re-release it? Does it come as a new game? Do you have to rebuy it? Is it they quote unquote sequel? Like, what is it?
It sounds like they have a lot of the same questions themselves. Maybe the most telling sentence in this thing is coming from Kotaku again. It says, quote, most of Anthem's biggest systems, its mission structure, its loot, its world will change drastically, but the developers have not yet figured out exactly what that will look like. They're even considering releasing Anthem next, quote unquote, if that's what they end up calling it, as a brand new game. So there's a lot of discussion on, yes, what exactly this would be. It seems too far gone. It just does, like Anthem, that whole thing. But so did so many other games, I think, at some point. I feel like this would be the greatest turnaround that anybody's ever executed on. But
ever.
They've spent so much on this thing, it wouldn't surprise me that they're still trying to figure out a way.
Well, and the other question that I would have behind it, and which leads me, which I think begs those questions, is how so you pumped all this money into it, not only for the game for how many years, but then you did all of your advertisement and all that. So are you going to double down on advertising again and saying a brand new Anthem, so dumping more money into a brand new game? It would make sense that you would.
They would have to, right? Because people are just going to see that and be like, "Oh, I know about that. No way I'm getting that."
Well,
right?
that's what I'm saying, right? Is like, how do you put out new adverts that get people to, without, like, I feel like it's one of those games like Too Human. It was just never going to work. Like, they had the idea, it was something there. I'd like to see it happen. I would love to see them retool the thing, let everybody who owns it, that's just a free update for them. Everybody
Definitely
else
that.
buys
Yeah.
it new, and new, like, that would be great, and see that game turn into, the Destiny clone it was always meant to be.
And they share bits of that too. Like they would want it to be something like the Taken King was for Destiny 1, or whatever the expansion was for Destiny 2 that people liked. Because I think regardless, like, there was absolutely something there. Like, we played the beta, maybe the alpha, that was essentially the full release game.
Apparently, yeah. And
there was something there even. Like, there was totally something there. There is a thing to be had. It's just, in fact, maybe the biggest question is that, how do they, even if they land on that, how do they get that out there? How do they tell people about that in a way that is trustworthy? Or
right. Well, I mean, at that point, that's why you definitely have to make it just an update for existing players. You can't.
They definitely need to do that.
You have to do that, because you have to engender that goodwill to all the people that still have the game, still playing the game. They're a small community, but you have to do that. Which, I mean, benefits you in the long run, right? Because it is a smaller community, so you're not really losing that much in terms of game price, I suppose.
Sure. Also, like, word of mouth probably would be the thing that turns this, like, regardless of what commercials they do put out or videos and anything from EA, it would be the people, it would be the Reddits of the world saying, you know what? I think they got something here. I think they did something.
Yeah. I mean,
visiting.
And that's just it. But they've got to figure out how to rebrand it too. Anthem is a fine name, I guess, but figure out a way to make that something else so that everybody recognizes this is the next iteration, like the true version, the true idea of the game, what have you. You know what I mean?
Whatever. Yeah. All right. So We maybe agree on not incredibly impossible, but
highly unlikely.
Wow. Like if it happens, I guess.
if that happens and all I read is this game is amazing, even if I read this game is as good as Destiny 2, I'd probably be willing to buy it just for the fact that it had that turnaround. Like that's almost worth going, you know what? All right. You guys kind of deserve that money.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know about that. I feel like then I would get it and be like, this is now playable for the most part. You did it.
Oh, games do work.
Did you hear about this? Halo Reach finally coming to the Master Chief Collection in December.
I did hear about that at XO19, whatever it was.
Oh, is that where this is from?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I didn't hear much else from that, I guess. I wasn't expecting.
There was not a ton. There were a couple game announcements that came out of it, but I'll be honest with you, not a ton that was super exciting to me at all. There was another game coming from the people that made Life is Strange, another, what is it, living novel or a video game novel, whatever you call them.
Adventure game, I think, has been the popular.
Sure, call it that, I guess. I don't know anything about it. I didn't play it. I've heard good things. There's another one of those coming out, and then that's the only one I remember. It was a good trailer, but as soon as I realized what it was, I was like, yeah, my interest is not piqued anymore.
I don't know what it is about. Yeah, you're right. I've only heard good things, and I've heard less good things, but fine things about Life is Strange 2 or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, same thing.
And I just have never... I think I'm on the outs with adventure game types for a bit now anyways, so...
I'm not... I don't know. That's not a story that I'm terribly interested in. Like, I guess I'm just not terribly interested in the more realistic stories. Like, not right now. I want something else.
Unlike Halo Reach, which
has
is where this began,
story.
I guess.
That's still probably my favorite Halo game, honestly.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, dude, I loved that game. That game had my favorite campaign far and away. Far and away. I love
ODST over here still, but
that campaign was incredible. I mean, ODST is top tier. Yeah, it's very good, but I don't even count. Like, ODST isn't Halo to me.
It almost doesn't count. Yeah,
yeah, it's like it's Halo adjacent. No, man, that game plus the multiplayer in that was super tight, and I loved playing.
That might be my favorite multiplayer, actually. Yeah.
I loved playing that multiplayer. I was never good at it, but man, did I have so much fun. That was easily the most fun Halo multiplayer, possibly the most fun first-person shooter multiplayer for me. That was console based for one, and part of a series like that, like part of it's inherent in Halo.
Sure.
I think because it really was like one of the few that I would actually play on my own. Like, I didn't need anybody. I was like, oh man, I actually just want to play some multiplayer. I want to get my dailies done. Like that. Then not even I want to get them done. Yeah, I just wanted to do them. And I wanted to do them because it was like, it had that perfect level of progression where I was always tempted to spend my credits on a different armor thing, but I had to maintain. I had to keep that, my eye on the prize to get my hearts.
The heart helmet, right? Was it the helmet?
Yeah. The little heart effect. I loved it.
Halo Reach, excellent game. I like how the class-based one is the one that you latched onto as more of a solo experience.
Freaking loved it.
Who was your class? Do you even remember? I don't remember.
I don't remember there being classes.
Yeah, I want to say... Oh, shoot. No,
I remember the gameplay and the levels. I do not remember, and then customizing my character the way he looked, but I don't remember the classes. I don't remember.
Well, you know what you should do? You should download this thing. It's actually, you know what?
No.
Is this coming to Game Pass? Halo Reach will be available on the Xbox One version of the Master Chief Collection and will come to Windows PC on the same day. It doesn't say. You can purchase Master Chief for $40 now. Halo Reach separately for $9.99. The collection is also playable through Xbox Game Pass, so you just need to download it.
I wonder if you can... okay. Yeah. I'm not going to, but it was a really good game, and I liked it a lot.
And that would take several minutes. It's not like we're made of time.
We're all stardust.
The last thing I thought maybe you had heard or we want to hear about is this here Mortal Kombat Sindel trailer.
Sindel, I watched that
How does it go?
trailer. Man, am I uninterested in her.
But they released a Mortal Kombat character. It's not like the Terminator or
No, I said
Alien.
this. I said this when she was announced. She was never a character I liked.
She wasn't, and it's for a game you also don't enjoy.
Yeah, it's disappointing.
Mostly.
I'm still so bummed out about it. I look at it and I see people playing it, and I'm like, oh, I really enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy it.
I'm gonna say, for a man that is in it only for the trailers, didn't do a whole lot for me.
Yeah, I don't like her. She was always one of the most boring characters. I hate the whole, like, her hair is stupid. I never liked the dumb screaming thing. Like,
She's like tier 1 new Mortal Kombat character that you never really cared about, never got into.
And there are a shocking number of people that seem to like her. And I'm like, really?
Really?
You know, who was asking? Who was sitting there going, man, I am so pumped. Like, why are you pumped for her? How did she become the character that you were like, yeah, she's my favorite?
Yeah, the biggest kick I got out of the trailer was when she did some hair stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, she had the hair thing. And then she screamed, and I was like, oh right, that thing too.
Yeah.
And then we were done.
Not only, also just honestly an annoying character because of that scream. It's just, I don't like it.
I guess for fatality also unimpressive. Screams some skin off. That's pretty much it.
That was also really bad.
All right. Well, I guess that's where we're at with Mortal Kombat 11. Not getting better.
No.
Not getting worse, but getting worse. That's all I had for this week on 0HITPoints.com, Facebook, Twitter, etc.
etc.
Do you have anything to add? For this is all over. This may be the shortest show in history. This is good. Take more time. Hand it out.
That's all I have is
Build up.
Okay. Bye!